Today's guest is Erin Kelly, Director of Education at the Greater Essex County District School Board. Welcome, Erin.
Hi. Glad to be here.
Thank you. How are you and your family doing during the pandemic?
Well, I can't say it's easy. Certainly my son lives with me, so it's been nice to have the company. He's been laid off, but he's doing well, and luckily I live on the water, and I get to sit outside a fair bit, which is lovely. I miss my daughter, who is in Kitchener area. I don't get to see her and her husband, so that's challenging. And of course, working from home part of the time has been an interesting experience. I'm learning a lot about myself, I think.
I think we all are. How has COVID-19 affected you and the operations at the school board?
Well, it's really changed the school boards. Teaching and learning is about interacting between teachers and students, and that has obviously changed. So many of the things, though, the operational pieces of the board, the HR, the finance, the facilities, all of those things have continued to be done, a lot of it remotely. So we've learned that there's a lot of those things we could do, but of course, that human connection between teacher and student is really the biggest gap. Although teachers are continuing to teach, it has just been a very challenging time, and we miss the students, we miss the staff, the isolation and physical distancing is hard on everyone, as you are well aware.
Yeah, definitely. How much contact do you have with the provincial government in regards to planning?
With respect to planning, there has been regular meetings, probably about once a week, with the provincial government. There are more information meetings. There are tables of planning groups where the directors are involved but most of the time we're doing planning at a local level. A lot of the work and a lot of the getting technology out to students, planning the curriculum work, working with teachers, working with principals, all of that is done at a local level. The ministry provides us with announcements and some direction, but a lot of that is a very local experience.
Yeah, this pandemic came on pretty quick in the closing of the schools. Were students and teachers properly prepared for the online teaching, and how are they adapting to it?
Well, to say that everyone was prepared would be a bit naive. I think that certainly all of us, were in a new way of learning and a way of doing things. A lot of teachers had skills to be able to do this. Others are developing those skills. And as a system, we, of course, had to provide a great deal of professional development to ensure that people had some resources to be able to do that. So it was a big learning curve for all of us. I think people are doing well with it. I'm very proud of what our organization has been able to do. Is it all equal? No. Are some of us more skilled at it than others? Yes. But on the whole, people are reaching out to their students, and families are learning together. It's a stressful time for them, but they have been very supportive and very good at letting us know what they need. We've done an extensive parent survey with our community to get a sense of what it is we're doing that's working, what isn't working, how we can best support, because not all our families come from same situations and their context is often very different. So we're trying to learn as well.
Yeah. That kind of leads into another question. With parents assisting in homeschooling, is there a greater appreciation for what our teachers do every day now?
Well, that's an interesting question because, yes, I think there is. Teaching is hard, and especially when you're trying to work from home and perhaps you've been laid off. Yes, we did get a lot of feedback in our survey saying that they really appreciated the work of teachers, but I know it is very challenging for parents as they try to do all of this in a very different environment, and they don't have, the kids are missing their friends, their kids are missing their regular routines, so it's challenging. But yes, I hope and think that most people would appreciate teaching more.
Definitely. Has the pandemic caused any issues with graduating seniors in secondary school as they move on to college or university?
Obviously, the year is not the same as it was, but universities and colleges are well aware of that. There's been good communication between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of College and Universities, and students will be accepted into programs just like they would have been in the past. There has been, for those students who hadn't completed their OSSLT as a graduate requirement, that was waived for this year. So I know that there will be challenges as students move on to college and university, but they will pass. They will move into their post-secondary pieces. They will get support as they move forward. I'm sure I know the colleges and universities already begun that discussion. So it's a different year, but students won't be penalized for the situation that they find themselves in.
A big question now is schools are officially closed until the end of May. I'm sure we'll hear something shortly about that, but are there concerns with the return to school and the safety of both the staff and the students? Or, what are your concerns with lengthening of the school year? Any discussions on that?
There have been no discussions about lengthening the school year. There have been discussions, and we are already planning for what kind of summer school options would be available to students at all levels. And so we always do run extensive summer learning programs, and so those will continue, and they may be certainly enhanced as well. With respect to, sorry, you asked another part of that question?
Concerns with returning to school and the safety,
Sure,
because of social distancing.
Yeah, the challenge of returning and reopening probably any business, but particularly schools, is a big deal. I think that when we started thinking about the closure of schools, that was a challenge, but I think the reopening of schools will be a bigger challenge. I mean, can you think of social distancing within a building? What do we have enough PPE? All of these things are huge questions. How do you transport students? I mean, it's a very, very complex return, depending on when we're asked to do that and how we're asked to do that. But we would have to follow public health guidelines. Obviously, we'd have to be very concerned with the safety of students. And again, I think it will be a challenge. We have a group of people that are beginning to start thinking about that, working on that. But it's a far bigger challenge than we initially anticipated. And so the deep cleaning, there's all aspects of it that would have to be considered. So lots of work there.
Yes, and especially with the younger students, because they probably missed all their friends and they want to hug someone, or
Yes.
we miss you. That'll be a really tough situation. Let's look hopefully. What are you looking forward to once the pandemic is over?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing my daughter, who I haven't seen in some time, and her husband. I'm certainly looking forward to our students returning to seeing what school community is. And although I'm really proud of what people have done in terms of being able to connect emotionally through a physically distant environment, I do really look forward to being able to socialize. The students can socialize, but also actually personally, it would be nice to be able to have people over and to do things, because you really do become more grateful, I think, for all the wonderful friends and family that you have in your life, and so I'm really looking forward to being reconnected in that way.
Well, I think we all are, Erin. Erin Kelly, thanks for your time today. Please stay well and stay safe.
Thank you very much. Same to you. Take care.
Thank you. That was Erin Kelly, Director of Education, Greater Essex County District School Board.